The lights of the studio burned bright as the cameras rolled, capturing the tense atmosphere in the air. Elon Musk, dressed sharply in a dark tailored suit, sat relaxed in his chair, his signature smirk hinting at his usual confidence. Across from him, the TV host, a well-known liberal figure notorious for aggressive questioning, leaned forward with an almost predatory glint in his eyes. "Tonight," the host announced, his voice dripping with theatrical emphasis, "we have the most controversial billionaire of our time, Elon Musk. Some call him a genius, others call him a danger to democracy itself. Elon, welcome to the show." Elon nodded slightly, his demeanor unfazed. "Appreciate the invite." The audience, split between admirers and critics, murmured in anticipation. The tension in the air was palpable. This wasn't going to be a typical interview. The host adjusted his papers, feigning a casual approach before firing the first shot. "You've been accused of platforming extremists, spreading misinformation, and let's be honest, using your wealth to manipulate free speech for your own agenda. What do you say to the people who think you're a billionaire tyrant rather than a free speech advocate?" A hushed silence fell over the studio. The question was loaded, designed to corner Musk from the start. But Elon didn't flinch. Instead, he leaned forward, locking eyes with the host, a slow smirk forming on his lips. "First," Elon said calmly, "let's talk about who's really controlling the narrative." The audience shifted in their seats. They could tell something big was coming. A tense silence filled the studio. The host leaned in, eyes locked onto Elon like a predator sizing up its prey. The audience barely breathed, waiting for the billionaire's response. Elon adjusted his posture slightly, letting the pause stretch just long enough to make the host uncomfortable. Then, with a slow smirk, he spoke. "Let's talk about who's really controlling the narrative," Elon said, his voice calm yet deliberate. The host raised an eyebrow, but before he could interject, Elon continued. A low murmur rippled through the audience. The host chuckled, feigning amusement, but his tightened grip on the desk told another story. "Oh, come on, Elon," he scoffed, shaking his head. "That's conspiracy talk." This network, like all reputable media, is committed to truth and journalistic integrity. Elon tilted his head as if studying a child struggling with basic math. "Right, truth and integrity. That's why you cut off anyone who doesn't fit your narrative. That's why you spent months attacking me for buying Twitter, X, because for the first time, you couldn't control the conversation anymore." The audience shifted uncomfortably. Some clapped. Others whispered among themselves. The host, sensing he was losing ground, went for a hard pivot. The classic move when all else fails. Call your opponent far right. It's like a cheat code for people who don't want to debate ideas. The host's smile stiffened. Elon continued, his tone growing sharper. "You call it banning journalists. I call it holding propagandists accountable. You call it firing employees who disagreed with me. I call it removing activists who wanted to sabotage the company from within. Funny how you only care about free speech when it benefits you." The audience's reaction split down the middle. Some erupted in applause. Others booed. But no one could look away. "Let me ask you this, if free speech dies, who benefits? Because I guarantee you, it's not the people sitting at home watching this." A heavy silence hung in the air. The host blinked, momentarily caught off guard. And just like that, the power dynamic had shifted. For the first time that night, the host hesitated. His carefully planned ambush was unraveling before his eyes. The audience wasn't fully on his side anymore. Some were clapping, others whispering, and a few even nodding at Musk's words. But he couldn't afford to lose. The host forced a smirk and leaned forward, his voice turning sharper. "Oh, so now you're the savior of free speech, huh? That's funny, Elon, because just a few months ago, you were banning journalists for exposing you. You even suspended a kid who tracked your private jet. Sounds like a thin-skinned billionaire to me." A few audience members chuckled, some clapped. It was a weak attack, but it was something. Elon's expression didn't change. You mean the guy who was actively posting my real-time location, putting my family at risk? Yeah, I banned him. And I'd do it again. The crowd reacted. Some gasped. Others nodded. Elon leaned in slightly, his voice still calm, but with an undeniable edge. And while we're on the topic of thin-skinned billionaires, let's talk about the actual powerful elites. The ones who own the networks like this one. The ones who decide what people are allowed to hear. You're upset because, for the first time, the conversation is happening without your filters. The host laughed nervously, but it was forced. He could feel the room slipping further out of his control. So what are you saying, Elon? He snapped. That there's some grand conspiracy against you? That the media is out to get you? Elon tilted his head. Against me? No. Against the truth? Absolutely. The audience exploded. Some clapped, others booed, but the tension had hit a boiling point. The host's face flushed red. He wasn't just losing, he was being exposed. You know what? The host snapped, his voice now louder. I don't have to sit here and listen to this right-wing nonsense. The moment the words left his mouth, he knew he had messed up. The audience gasped. Elon smirked. Ah, he said, sitting back, arms crossed. So that's it. When you can't win the argument, you label me and try to shut me up. That's the playbook, isn't it? The host gritted his teeth. He was visibly furious now. You know what? We're done here. He barked, standing up and motioning to the producers. Cut his mic. A murmur ran through the audience. They weren't sure what was happening. But Elon? He just laughed. And that's when the cameras cut to black. The screen cut to black. Elon Musk had just been silenced on live television. For a moment, the studio was in chaos. The host slammed his papers down, looking frustrated. The audience reacted loudly, some cheering, others booing, and many pulling out their phones. But outside the studio, that's where the real battle began. Within minutes, #Elon Musk censored was trending worldwide. Social media exploded with reactions. Some people were outraged, calling it proof that the media silences voices they don't like. Others defended the host, saying Musk had been spreading dangerous ideas. Then, as the debate grew, Elon himself tweeted, "When they silence you, it means you were right." The tweet went viral instantly. Thousands of retweets in minutes. The network quickly responded, claiming Musk had been cut off for spreading misinformation. The host tweeted his own message, calling Musk a dangerous manipulator. But Musk didn't back down. He simply retweeted it with a short response. "You're mad because I won." Social media erupted. The media thought they had won. The host had cut Musk off. The network had released a statement, and the news cycle moved fast. But Elon Musk wasn't done. Sitting in his private office, he watched the chaos unfold. The network's official account had posted a statement, claiming Musk had violated their guidelines and was removed to protect journalistic integrity. Musk smirked. He knew exactly what to do. He opened X and began typing ... Interesting. When they lie about me, it's free press. But when I respond, it's dangerous. Makes you think. The tweet went nuclear. 250,000 likes in under 30 minutes. News outlets rushed to cover it. People flooded the network's account with questions. Then Musk did something that no one expected. He uploaded the full, unedited interview to X. "Since they don't want you to see what really happened," he wrote, "here's the full video. Decide for yourself." Within minutes, the video was being watched by millions. People analyzed every second. And the conclusion was clear: Musk hadn't spread misinformation. He had just refused to be controlled. The network was in full damage control mode. Their original post was being ratioed into oblivion. They issued a second statement, trying to spin the situation, but it was too late. Musk's tweet replies were filled with people calling the network corrupt, dishonest, and afraid of real debate. And as Musk sat back, watching the numbers climb higher, he knew one thing for sure. They had tried to silence him. And now, more people were listening than ever before. The video was everywhere. Millions had seen it, and the truth was out. The network had tried to silence Elon Musk, but instead, they had made him even louder. The backlash was brutal. Sponsors of the show started pulling out. The network's reputation was crumbling. People were canceling subscriptions. The hashtag media lies was trending, and every response to the network's posts was filled with one question. Why did you cut him off? The pressure was too much. That's when the network made a desperate move. They issued a new statement, but this time they didn't double down. Instead, they tried to spin it. The segment with Mr. Musk was unfortunately cut short due to time constraints. We value open discussions and regret any misunderstanding. Musk read the statement and laughed. Ah yes, time constraints, the classic excuse, he posted on X. The tweet went viral instantly. People flooded the network's replies. Time constraints? You literally told the producers to cut his mic. If you value open discussion, why did you try to silence him? You lost, just admit it. The network was drowning. They had no way out. Meanwhile, Musk's uncut interview was still spreading like wildfire. More people were watching it every minute. And that's when Musk made his final move. He turned their own game against them. His next tweet was just 4 words. Should I buy them? The internet erupted. People lost their minds. The idea of Musk buying the network was now a serious conversation. Memes flooded X. People joked about renaming the show the Free Speech Hour. The network had officially lost control. Musk had won. Musk's tweet, "Should I buy them?" was no longer just a joke. It was a statement of power. The network, already under massive pressure, struggled to respond. Their executives held emergency meetings. Their social media team stopped replying to the backlash. The host, who had tried to embarrass Musk, had gone completely silent. But Musk? He had just started. A few hours after his first post, he launched a public poll on X. Should I acquire this network and restore actual free speech? Yes or no? The response was overwhelming. 82% of voters said yes. Only 18% said no. Millions participated in the poll within minutes. Memes spread across X. Users posted mock-ups of the network under Musk's ownership. People began speculating about what would happen if Musk really took over. Then, leaked internal messages from network employees surfaced. The messages revealed that the producers had planned to cut Musk's microphone before the show even aired. The media had claimed it was a technical issue, but now the truth was out. The final blow came when Musk posted, "Turns out, the free market has a solution for dishonest media. Stay tuned." People debated whether he was serious. The network's stock price dropped overnight. The host's credibility collapsed. The man who had once confidently tried to control the conversation had now become the target of ridicule. And Musk? He did not even need to buy them. He had already won. The public had turned against the network. Their influence was shattered. And Musk had proven on the biggest stage possible that they never wanted a real debate. They only wanted control. As the dust settled, Musk posted one final message. The lesson? If you tell the truth, you don't need to silence people. They silenced themselves. The internet reacted instantly. And just like that, one of the most powerful media networks had been exposed, not by money, not by politics, but by the one thing they feared most, the truth. What do you think about Elon Musk's response? Was he right, or was the network justified in cutting him off? Let us know in the comments. And if you don't want to miss more shocking stories like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe right now. Turn on notifications so you're always the first to see new videos. Don't wait, join the conversation today.